everyone, blessed be, and I wanted to show you today how I repainted this astrology skull. It's a skull that's got stars on, the sun, the moon, star signs, it's got the seasons on it, and I wanted to use it in my practice. I'll probably use it mainly as an altar decoration during Samhain. The rest of the time it sits on my desk with my little mini altar setup that I've got on my desk that year round. You can use skulls on your altar to represent the ancestors, for an ancestor altar, and also to work with your ancestors if you wish to do so. And I really like the style and the design of this skull, and I wanted a resin one, and this was the best I could find. It's either a very thick plastic or a resin. I believe this is resin, and it cost me all of about, it was in a haul video, I think it was like £3 from Asda, so I was really pleased when I found this. It was ideal. However, I didn't quite like the colour, and I wanted the details of the carvings in it to show up a lot more. So what I'm doing here is coating the whole thing in a layer of thick black acrylic paint, and I'm making sure to get the paint in all the details, all the little nooks and crannies. I want to cover the whole thing first of all. Now I'm not leaving it black because I don't want a black skull, but you'll see in a bit what I do. So I'm painting it. I mean, you could leave it black if you like, or you could paint it purple or whatever colour you fancy. But for me, for this effect, it's just the base layer, as it were. So I'm making sure I've covered everything in black like so. Then I'm taking a paper towel and wiping off the excess paint, and this leaves a thin film of black over the resin, which just dulls down that colour a bit, because I felt it was a bit too yellowy of a strange bone colour, and I prefer everything to look a bit duller, so that's what I'm doing here. And by wiping off the excess paint with a paper towel, the paint stays in all the recesses of the carvings, so it makes them show up really well. But also, like I said, it leaves a thin layer of the black paint over the whole thing, which just dulls down that colour. This is an effect that's used to antique stuff, like an antiquing effect, which I've seen people who make props and stuff use, and it's a technique I've used for years on various different things. What I like about it is it's nice and easy, but it's also very effective. And here I'm just touching up inside the sockets. I wanted to make sure that inside the eye sockets and the nose was completely black. It took a couple of coats just to make sure I covered every little bit, because obviously the only thing is when you paint something black that's like a light colour, you find that you'll get little tiny dots of the colour showing from underneath, and you just have to go over it again. So as you can see, I'm just using my heat gun just to help dry inside the eye sockets, so that I can put a second layer of paint on here and there. And anywhere in the recesses where I felt that the paint didn't quite take as much, or there isn't enough paint in the little recesses to make the details show, I just touched those up while I was drying sections of the skull. So I'm just touching stuff up here and there. There's some words carved in across the cheekbones, and the paint didn't go in those properly because the brush I used was a bit big. So I'm just going over each letter, making sure it's all thoroughly coloured in with the black, and then wiping off the excess from the outside. And as you can see, by using the black paint in this way, it's just dulled down that strange yellowy plastic skull colour, and made it look better in my opinion. So here I'm just going over some more details. It says roughly translated, this way leads to the stars, something like that, and it's in Latin. I remember this. I know the 2 stars bit, which is Ad Astra, because that's on my tattoo. And the rest of the quote, I'll see if I can find it on my phone. I did write it down. 1 second. I don't know if I've still got it on my phone. No, can't find it, but it's something like "this way leads to the stars." And I really like that quote, and that's one of the things that made me really want to buy this. So I wanted to make sure I got the detail of that all thoroughly filled in. Then I decided to add another layer of black to where the seasons were written on the top of the skull, just to make them stand out a bit more, and also just to add a bit of variation in the colour of the skull. And here I'm just using a baby wipe just to clean off the letters a little bit, just to get them to stand out just that little bit more. I found if you just dampen the area with a baby wipe and then wipe with your finger, you can get off the paint that you've just applied, because it does take a little minute or two for the paint to dry. If you look on here, I've noticed they've spelled autumn wrong. They've missed part of the U off, so it looks like it's autumn, but never mind. I still like it. And then I wanted to wipe off some of the paint on this sun symbol, because I wanted it to stand out a little bit more against the surface of the skull, like so. And it just makes those details really pop, and you can see them a lot more now, which is what I like. Then I did a bit of highlight on the sun on the side, and then to add highlights to the teeth, literally all I'm doing is wiping some of the paint off with a baby wipe. And because it's like a washer paint, it does come off fairly easy if you use a baby wipe and you do it pretty quickly after painting. On the nose I took a bit too much paint off, but I did just touch that up. And that's it. Dead easy, makes it look a lot better. You could choose to varnish this if you prefer more of a glossy finish. I don't tend to bother because I like the matte finish, and also I've got the option of repainting in the future. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Blessed be, and bye for now.